Hey Scrubbers, it's Vanessa here with another How to Kill a Kit with Style layout, and today I'm playing again with one of my page kits. And most of the papers I think on this one are from the stamp market, and I am using the page kit that had that giant floral. But before I bring in my pattern papers, I am just going to take this white piece of cardstock, and I did not gesso this paper. So the mixed media that I am putting on this background, it does sort of dry into the paper pretty quickly because, like I said, I didn't gesso it, but I was lazy and didn't want to take the time to gesso, so I am happy with how this turned out. I am just adding a little bit of mixed media. The initial plan that I had in my head was that this mixed media was going to be on either side of the pattern paper that I'm going to put in the middle, and it was going to be a vertical layout. However, I end up changing it, and you'll see that as we go. The pattern paper still goes in the middle, but you'll see that here in a second. And this is that giant floral paper that I was telling you about. This is from the stamp market. This is their Miss Modern collection, I think it was what it was called. And so I have this orange and pink polka dot and then the floral paper, and I'm going to layer these up together. So the orange and pink is going to go on the outside of the floral, and so I am just getting my pattern papers cut up here, and I do apologize. My camera does not like prints that are like this black and white stripe. It has a very hard time focusing on that pattern paper. So I do apologize, because I, even watching it back on the video, find it really hard to look at that paper. Sometimes it'll focus on it correctly, and then other times it does not. So I do apologize. Luckily, I am not showcasing a big portion of that pattern paper. And so my photo is just going to be a small mat behind my photo, so it shouldn't make your eyes go too cross-eyed as you're looking at the layout. So because my background is a little bit damp from using that mixed media, I am just going to start to build my layout here on my mat here, and that's pretty much the design that I have in my head of how I think this layout is going to go. So I'm going to put the layout together in the way that I have it initially in my head of how this layout is going to come together. And I don't have it in front of me, but I do know it changes a little bit. Now, all of these florals that you see me playing with, I have the coordinating stamp and dies that go with this collection. And so what I did is off camera, and I do apologize, I didn't leave all the stamping on camera, but off camera I went ahead and used my MISTI, and I stamped all of these florals and leaves with that stamp set, and then I proceeded to cut them out with my Big Shot, and that is what I'm going to use primarily to decorate this page. So I do know that I want my embellishment cluster to be sort of on the diagonal, and so that's what you see me building here. And so because my background's drying, I pretty much went ahead and built everything off camera. So there you see I have brought my pattern paper back in. I matted the white cardstock on a piece of black cardstock, and I ended up flipping that. So now my strips of pattern paper are actually horizontal instead of vertical. So I'm still going to go with the concept of my embellishments going on the diagonal, but when I came back to put the rest of the embellishments down, I decided that I wanted to go for my pattern papers on the horizontal. And to ensure that I have enough room for my title, I'm going to go ahead and put my title down first before I start embellishing, because I always make the mistake of not putting a title down early in my process, and sometimes I run out of room for being able to fit a title on. So yeah, I decided to be smart this time and put my title down first. The title for this one is just going to be Road Trip Adventure, and it's just a picture of my kids in the back seat. This was on our road trip to Tennessee, and so I snapped this little picture of them just sort of chilling out in the back seat. And so that is the layout, or the title for this layout. And I'm just using some L Studio black letters, and then the thicker set is, I don't know if that is an actual American Craft Thickers or a Hip Kit exclusive. I cannot remember, but it's like a two-tone sort of yellow and pink combo. Now that I have my title down and my photo is in place where I want it, I am going to go ahead and again build those clusters out. So now this time, because I've reoriented my page and I don't have the space down at the bottom that I was going to put the two tags originally, and I wanted to still have my journal box there under my photo, I have gone ahead and reoriented one of the tags. I got rid of the other tag, and I am going to now put the embellishments that I had in the 3 clusters basically now into 2 clusters on this page. And I guess you could call it a third, because I do go ahead and embellish the top of the sort of journaling block that I have. So I guess you could say there's 3, unless you want to count the journaling square as as one giant cluster. You could call it 2 or 3, however you want to say it. So I do have the tag up at the top and then the journaling box down below, all clustered with my florals, still on that sort of diagonal theme that I had going on originally. Now here is where I am taking one of my stamps, and you see off to the side there all of the colors that I ended up using to do all that stamping. I have some Catherine Pooler and some Concord and 9 ink that I use to do all of those. If you want to know the colors, just shoot me a note in the comments and I will try to let you know which colors I used. But I really love how they turned out. They match the pattern paper perfectly, and I am in love with this layout. I love the florals. I am just finishing up the layout actually with some enamel dots that you see me putting down here, and that is all this page really needed. I have done some stamping like you saw on that label with a citrus twist stamp, as well as some circular stamps that are from Studio Calico. I did add those into each of my clusters as well. Once I've got these enamel dots down, that is pretty much going to wrap it up for this page. So I will have the links to everyone who's playing along with How to Kill a Kit with Style in the description box below, so you can check out what everyone has created this month with their kits. And I do believe once I put these last enamel dots down, I have some yellow, some green, and some orange enamel dots. So I was just really keeping with the colors of what the florals were. And like I said, I adore how this page came out. It is one of my favorites that I created this month, and I definitely want to do more stamping with those florals, with all the layering. I love how they ended up looking on this page. And so with that, guys, these still photos are coming up, and I will catch you on the next one. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.